Algebra 1, Section 2.5, we're dealing with inequalities with variables on both sides. So the last section you dealt with multi-step, but the variables that you're dealing with were all on one side. Now we have to deal with variables on both sides and moving it from one side to the other. And you have to remember that you can only simplify like terms. Okay, so I can't, so k squared is very different than k, so on and so forth. Okay. So let's start with this one. The order of the operation tells us to go ahead and do parentheses first. So I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to distribute it. So I end up with 2k, and I'm going to distribute it not just to the 3, but to the negative 3. So positive 2 times negative 3 gives me negative 6, okay, is greater than, I can't combine the middle, but I can combine 6 and negative 3. 6 minus 3 is 3 plus 3k, okay? So it doesn't matter which side I choose to put the variable, okay? As long as all the variables on one side, everything else is on the other. So let's bring one variable over. Let's go ahead and bring 2k to the right. So I subtract 2k from this side, so that means I have to do it from this side, okay? This gives me negative 6 is greater than, I have to bring that 3 because I didn't do anything with it, and then 3 minus 2k is positive 1k, or just k, okay? 1k is the same thing as just saying that variable. So now, the only thing that's stuck to k is 3, so the opposite is minus 3. Negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. Sorry, I ran out of space. So negative 9 is greater than k. Okay? Now, because of the rule that we talked about, multiplying and dividing by a negative number, you have to flip. It might be really safe for you just to go through it real quick. Did I multiply or divide by a negative number? That this should be flipped, because that's one of the biggest mistakes that happen because you get so caught up in the rules that you're used to. So don't forget to check that. My next one, I'm dealing with decimals. Okay. This has the 0.4y, so let's bring it to the other side. So this is positive 0.4y. Remember, this negative is attached to the 0.5. So I'm not going to, this is not a negative, this is positive. So the opposite of a positive 0.4 is negative 0.4y and negative 0.4y. This cancels out. Now I have to bring the y with me. I cannot separate 0.4 from y unless I divide everything by 0.4. That's the only way I can separate it. So I can't just choose it. I have to take it with me. Okay? So in this case, this cancels out. Okay? I'm not dividing or multiplying, so this stays the same. I end up with 0.5 here. Okay? And 0.9 minus 0.4y is 0.5y. Okay? So now I have to, now when I want to separate, okay, if I wanted to bring the whole thing over, I just subtract. Now, if I want to take 0.5 and separate it from y, I have to go ahead and divide, okay? So dividing is the only way I can separate them because this cancels out, all right? If not, I'd have to bring it, the whole thing over. So divide by 0.5. Y is greater than or equal to, this is a negative, 0.5 over 0.5 is the same thing as 1. Because if it's the same, top and bottom, it's the same thing as 1. So this is my answer. Okay, the next one is C. So 2x minus 7 is less than or greater or equal to 5x plus 2x. Now, these right here are like terms. Okay, so that means that this, I'm going to bring this whole section down. Please make sure to show all this work. I need to see your steps and your process. So 5x plus 2x gives me 7x. Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2x from both sides and bring it here. Not 7, because this has an x, that means it would be like terms. So minus 2x. So negative 7 is less than or greater than negative 2x, right? And then I'm going to divide by negative 2, because I want to separate the negative 2 and the x. Divide by negative 2. The negatives cancel out, giving me a positive 7 over 2. But I'm dividing by what? This cancels out. I'm dividing by a negative 2, so I need to make sure to flip the sign. X. So 7 over 2, you can do decimal. I'm just going to leave that as 7 over 2. If it could be reduced, you should reduce it. So 7 over 2 is greater than or equal to, it's like the lower I get, the harder it is to write. There, greater than or equal to x. All right? The next one is a little bit more challenging because we have two sets of, not challenging, just more work, but we have two sets of parentheses. So we have to make sure to do the parentheses first on both sides, and then we can start moving things around. So I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to multiply it by the entire thing. So 2 times 3y is 6y. And I'm going to take this 2 and multiply it by 2 and the sign in front of it. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And I'm just going to bring this down, negative 4. So then it's this. 3 times 2y gives me 6y. And 3 times positive 7 gives me positive 21. All right? So these are like terms right here, so I'm going to bring everything else down. 6y. Negative 4 minus 4 gives me negative 8, which is greater than or less than 6y, greater than or equal to 6y plus 21. Now, let's bring negative 6y to the other side. Okay? This cancels out, this cancels out. This gives me negative 8 is greater than or equal to 21. Now, because I got rid of the variables, negative 6y, subtract 6y, subtract 6y, because I got rid of the variables, all I'm left with numbers. Now, negative 8 is greater than or equal to 21. When is that true? It's never true. Now, if I have, if it's the other way around, if I had 21 is greater than negative 8, okay, then this is everything is true. No matter what I put in for y, it'll always be true. But in this case, because I end up with negative 8 is greater, because it doesn't matter what I put in for y, because it'll get canceled out, this is never true, so I have no solution. So if it's never true, I have no solution. If it's a true value statement at the end when I got rid of the variables, then it's all solutions, or any number, or any solution. So page 129, numbers 8 and 10. So try page 129, numbers 8 and 10, and I will see you in class.